Hello, my dear. Welcome back.
It's always so lovely to catch up with you.
It's nice to see you on day release.
Community service.
Community service. And welcome to you guys. Thank you for tuning back in. We're on episode 2 where we're going to be talking about the summer break, all things summer. So make sure you've been following us on our socials at Cheer Up the Podcast UK.
Yes, and also make sure that we've got like the viewers who want to participate with any of our questions, where you can reach us on Jane and Theo at the cheerup@gmail.com.
It's a mouthful, that.
It really is.
Jane and Theo at cheerup@gmail.com. Mouthful, tongue twister.
When we was filming the guest reveal for the hosts, we couldn't even remember what the podcast was called.
It's just because it's not that we're old. She's 21.
Yeah,
it's just that we do a lot, Jane. We do a lot.
We do
a lot. What have you been up to? Speaking of things.
I've been hosting at ICC with yourself, which has just been, that's kind of how this gorgeous dynamic duo was started. So I've been loving actually comparing. That's been such a blast. Just come from Battle of the Champions and
incredible weekend.
Oh my God. I just cannot believe every season the cheer just gets,
I think
the standard is just getting so good.
Not being biased or anything, but that the Battle of the Champions concept is just incredible. Like having the best of the best compete against it. That is just an incredible concept, and well done. Hats off to ICC for doing that. I think it's
totally
really, really
agree.
Good.
Like the medals were fantastic, and it's obviously it's a bid event, so you've got to have had a certain score, or you've got to have come top in your category to actually get offered the bid. And I think for the teams that maybe don't want to travel, you are going to go up against the best of the best in the UK. So I'm sitting your camp. I think it's an absolutely amazing concept. I think it's brilliant. And obviously, we've had Bournemouth.
Yes, I've taken my team Iron Ladies to Bournemouth, senior level 2. They're absolutely cracking. It's my elite team. They're smashing it this season. We're the first in our region, in our division. So loving that.
Oh, lovely.
I'm basing that off of BCA Telford because it was a national competition and we were first in the region.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But yeah, we just had Bournemouth. It's been an epic weekend. Bournemouth is always an epic weekend. But as much as the competition's great, it's the place it's at. It makes it like a mini seaside world, doesn't it?
It literally does. I mean, I weren't there this year, which I was gutted about because we've been there every year for a good couple of years. And it's just when you're walking around the atmosphere and then you're seeing people from the industry, and there's always that nice camaraderie, I think, as well,
there is,
where you go. I mean, I'm a bit too old for the walkabout at the end.
It's Pop World now.
Oh, it's Pop World.
Yes, it's Pop World. I've actually managed to obviously use my status a bit and got myself a VIP table. So I'm getting old now. I want to sit down. I can't boogie like I used to.
Oh well, I'm coming with you then next year because then I can just sit in the corner.
We do it every 2 years because of the cost.
Okay.
So we do it. So we're doing it this year. We'll take a break next year because we're not a big program. So then we'll do it again in 2 years' time. I think that's the best way because it does get quite expensive.
That is literally the same as us this year. We wanted to just take some time out of of travelling because of the cost, and we really listened to what our parents wanted really, and they wanted a bit of a break from it as well, just for cost, because it's a journey. It
is a journey. 4 hours and something it takes us.
It is a journey. Although I have to say, when I go down, I always like to have a sneaky day off, or even half a day off, to visit the pool, because I love a boat ride, and the restaurants on the front at pool
are really nice.
Are absolutely
I've never
gorgeous.
done it. No, never been to pool.
Well, you see, I don't do the, what's it called now? It's not the walkabout.
The pop in the world.
The pop in the world, where all the young uns go. So I've passed my sell-by date on that one. I think I need something a little bit more I want my nice glass of wine and my little
feet
boat
up.
trip out and my feet up, because it's a heavy weekend.
It is a heavy. We go down Friday morning, and then we come back on a Monday. So we do a full weekend. Obviously, the kids come out of school. We have a school letter. Obviously, the competition provider, Future Cheer provide a letter as well to give to schools. But it is a very full-on weekend, and we train when we're there. When the weather's been quite nice this year, so we train in the park and stuff. You
just love that's my favourite.
It's like a mini show offs.
It's like when you go to Worlds and they're all out on the grass and everybody's there's like teams just walking about and they're doing the baskets. And one year, remember, we met some athletes from Cov Dynamite, and you know what the younger ones are like. If they all look up to the the big high level teams, and some of Cov Dynamite were there, and they were doing baskets with our kids, and I was just like, how lovely, because they were literally inspiring. You know, the younger generation. Athletes.
I call them future cheerleaders.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think there's that etiquette, isn't there, as well? I think if you are like an older cheerleader, you are in our world. They're cheer celebs, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Our little ones like follow them, and you know they really look up to them. So there's a responsibility there. I think. For
sure, yeah. You've got to hold yourself in a certain kind of way to be an older athlete, a more elite athlete. I think you're inspiring the younger generation, and obviously you're leaving a massive impact on their lives, looking up, especially big programs that have these teams and world's teams and stuff, that the little ones are aspiring to be like them. Well, saying that, most of the teams these days, they've got that many good level 1 or 2 teams. Like, I don't need to do worlds anymore.
No, like the youth, even the youth teams, aren't they? They're killing it. Absolutely killing it. They come in, they've got like a 6-pack. You're like, what?
I know. I always say to my younger team, I'm like, you've got to step up your facial expressions, because these tinies are murdering it. They're absolutely phenomenal on the floor.
Our tinies are just amazing. Like with the faces, they're just unreal. But I love Bournemouth with especially when you've got the weather or the beach and everybody's walking around. It's a good atmosphere. Really, really good atmosphere. And we're going to be covering quite a lot. Like we're not going to be leaving any event producers out in this podcast. We're going to be covering like each event as they come up throughout the season and who's won bids. And so we're going to be in the know, and we're going to be sharing that kind of information with everybody as well. So at the end of this episode, there will be who won the bids at Bournemouth.
Will there? No idea anymore. But starting off, we're going to get into Short Talks, Big Impacts. Today, we're going to be talking about the summer break and if teams or gyms have a summer break. I take a break just because I want to go on holiday. I don't know anybody else. I don't have kids just because I coach nearly 30 odd of them. So I'm like, no, I don't want kids. So I don't want them.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather coach them and send them back to the parents. I'll have a dog though. Yeah. I always say to my mum, I can't turn up to a kennel with a kid and say, do you take kids? I'm off to Jamaica for 3 weeks. Do you take kids? No, love, it's a kennel.
So unfair.
It's a joke. Don't judge me. Honestly, you can't say alt these days without getting shot in the foot, can you?
No, not really.
But yeah.
You close, don't you?
We take, I think we do tryouts so we have about 28th of July, and then we do the team placements, and then we have about 2 weeks, I think about 3 weeks off this year, and then we come back. But it's nice. I personally like it to give my coaches a break. Yeah. I like that for them. I need a break because my lifestyle is absolutely mental.
It's crazy.
But also the kids need time. I think because cheerleading is so demanding, they do need time with the families and stuff like that on holidays. I mean, I accept them to go on holiday throughout our season anyway. I just always say to them, you cannot go on holiday when we've got comps or the run-up to comps. I do not tolerate that. But I think you need to give them time. Especially because we're a small program as well. I like to give them that family time back, that just their time.
Absolutely. I mean, we normally, when it's summer holidays, you know, obviously people go on holiday and we stay open. Yeah. There's only the last week in August, like that bank holiday weekend, because I think most parents, they want to get like the school uniform sorted. You want to get that mental preparation for them starting, you know, the school year as well come September. So we always close that last week, but we remain open. And we tend to do more like team building games. Yeah.
I think that's the kind of amazing thing you can do when you've got your own facility. You can put on these extra sessions and extra classes which will benefit the child, like doing skill camps and stuff like that. We obviously don't have that luxury. We've been training out of a school, so if we did have that space, we would put on classes for people to come in, more chill, laid back, kind of chilled atmosphere.
And it's nice to sort of get the guests. Yeah. You know, like we've got amazing coaches in the UK. I know lots of people buy in from America as well, but we do have some amazing coaches that, you know, go around to different gyms and getting people in. And do you not find this, Theo? It does not matter how many times you are saying, like, let's just say it's smushed to coupe and it's the feet together, all right? You must say it 300 times in a session. A guest coach comes in, says it once.
And they listen.
and they do it. And you're like, I've been saying that for so long. And then there's always that little bit inside you as a coach where you think, I wonder whether they actually think that I say that, because I do say that. You've got to like verify yourself, haven't you? To the guest coach, you always have to verify yourself and say, I do tell them that, you know. I do tell them that, you know.
Well, he's just like, well, have you met him?
You're parroting at the back of him. I have said that.
Yeah, and our kids just make you look like an absolute utter idiot.
Absolutely.
Good one.
Always embarrass you.
Yeah.
Always. But no, I think it's great to have the guest coaches in over the summer, and you can get some great ideas ready for your choreography, ready for the season as well. Yeah. So I generally use that time to have a play about with choreography as well. And a great one, I find, a great tip here for people, if you don't do it already, is get the kids to make their own routines up. Like, give them like something off the, off the grid. Like, you're going to give me an inversion. Like, you're going to do something a bit twisty, whether that's a level 1, it's quarter up, or whether it's, higher and it's full up. You're going to do something there. You're going to do it. And then you sort of build it up. And each team, so then you come up with this eclectic little...
And then they feel like they've given something to the routine.
If that gets chosen, it gives that athlete ownership on that routine as well. So I think that's always... I'm
going to take that idea.
Are you going to take that?
Yeah.
You see, I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
But I think it's great because the kids get that ownership of it as well, and they're having fun.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, like this in... And I generally find, like when you're trying to coach an inversion... like, you go out, don't you? You go home and you're like, where's the wine? I need that tonight. Like grip, foot, J up, elbow, bend, push. Nope. It's coming from here. It's like you're not bending your knees. It's not going up for the whole of your life. That is never moving anywhere. So I always think they always seem to work that little bit harder.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I think my girls always come up to me like, Theo, can we do this? Can we do that? I'm like, yeah, really good idea. Let me check if it's legal, because I'm not quite sure. I can't keep up with these rules these days because they change more time than I change my pants. I was like, they're like, Theo, I'm sure. I've just checked. My girls are telling me that it's legal. I'm like, is it? Because I did put a legal move in a level 2 routine.
Yeah, you know what? That's the fun thing about cheer, isn't it? Where you say, what other sentence are you going to go? That's illegal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we don't
my
do
girls.
That. I think we should think about
honestly,
rephrasing. That's an illegal move.
I was like, if in doubt, just say it's illegal.
Yeah. Is it legal? I mean, people won't get a visit comes into your gym. Coach Jane, is this legal? I think so. Let me just check the real book.
It's like a long scroll, and it's like,
ooh, that real book. I mean,
honestly, it's hard. It's hard.
And they write it. The rule book is written like you're signing, like when you're signing for like maybe a finance thing. It's like all legal jargon. It's like you can do a forward roll, but you can't do this, and if the hips don't go over the head, and it's like you're like, okay, guys, can we try this? Hips not overhead. It's a minefield.
Okay, guys, float. I want you to float. That's what I want you to do. For 8 counts of your routine, you are going to float.
We're going to call it, I know, that can be our theme, levitation. Levitate.
Inside the box.
Oh my God,
we've gone off topic there. Sorry, summer break.
We need a summer break. But yeah, I think like doing fun camps, doing team building things, making sure like the athletes are keeping the fitness levels up, because that is always a problem, isn't it?
It is. I think a lot of people don't realise. I mean, me and my sister used to compete together. And she had to step in once, and she was like, you don't realise how much, obviously she took longer than like the break that she needed, but your body's just completely, you do not realise what muscles you use in cheer. And then as soon as you stop and you go back into it, she was like Theo, I'm struggling here, like I should have kept at it, because it is a very, very demanding, like on your body, very demanding sport. So taking that summer break out, you need to make sure that your coach has set you some kind of what's the word? some exercises to do to keep fit.
Yeah.
I mean, I always give my girls some homework to do through the week as well as the summer. But I think you do need to, you have to hold yourself accountable.
100%. I mean, we always say to our athletes that, because you remember when we had the dreaded COVID, we have got hundreds on our YouTube, like of strength conditioning, you know, not just us from doing it, like guests that came on and did like some conditioning. So we always say, like, have a go on the YouTube, go and have a look, do some conditioning off there. You know, there's all sorts, especially if you're into cheer. There's so many things that you can be doing, and even like getting like in your back garden. You know, like some of them have got the air tracks, haven't they?
Yeah.
You get air tracks out, and you can, like, okay, you're working on a skill, you want to get your walk over or whatever it is you're working on. You know, obviously keeping it safe, but trying to keep that level of fitness up. And another handy tip I always say is, like, if they can do something like anaerobic, so an exercise that takes them into an anaerobic state, you know, so they might do running, but do it for like 2:30, and then walk, and then do another run for 2:30, because your routines are normally 2:30, so that's where you've got to power
That's how
through.
I start off my training sessions. Like, we do a run to the music, and then we sprint at dance, because that's pretty much what you do in a routine. You're jogging, you're running throughout that whole 2:30, and then you get to dance. That's your sprint, it's your final push. And I always say to my girls, if you can't control your breathing in a run in 2:30, then you cannot hack a full routine. Yeah, it's different because you're throwing people around, but if the basic core of your fitness will start from that run and we do it every session. I make, even my prep level teams, I always make them run to the music, so get some music in the head, but they're also knowing that this is what we're doing in the routine. We're pretty much running for 2 minutes straight or 2:30 straight.
100%.
So,
I think it's really important.
Jane's checking the time because we'd like to talk for England.
We can. We really can go off at a tangent. But I think keeping your fitness whilst you're on your summer break, if your gym's closed, like being accountable for yourself as an athlete. Yeah,
for sure.
Making sure you're
but that's not even just in summer though. That's even like when your season's in flow. Like I always say to my girls, absolutely. Well, you're watching in the night garden, sit in splits. Yeah. Whatever it is you're doing, whilst your mum's cooking your Sunday roast, sit in splits and eat it. Yeah. Just keep every moment of the day, keep stretching. Yeah. It's how all the big cheerleaders, like, what's her name? Gabs? What's her name? Yeah. From Navarro cheer. She would literally train. Gabby Butler. Call her Gabs. She would train every day, wouldn't she? She would absolutely be, and all the Americans do. That's not just saying her, just because she's a public figure, but they all will live, breathe, and sleep cheer.
The mindset we talked about in the last episode, really, isn't it? It's about keeping that mindset and about keeping yourself accountable, and about you wanting it, and your fitness levels do really matter. The same with the dance as well, because you know they're moving, they're transitioning, and it's full on. So I think it's about being mindful of your fitness and not being too sort of like chilled. If you're going to go back and you're going to be in that team, the camps, making them fun, being that it's laid back, so you know that you're going to have athletes dropping in and dropping out. Like say, we do have the luxury of our own gym, so we do things like that. But also it's a great time as well for the coaches to start building resources for, you know, to help with training sessions for the year after. So we tend to do a lot of training for our coaches. Like say when we close, we do we always do some like CPD for our coaches, and something fun as well for them, because it's the season is intense.
Yeah, it can be. It's full on, isn't it?
It's full on. So I think it's really important to make sure that your coaches are having a great time. It's summer, you've got that nice like summer vibe, and fundraising as well. It's a great time to do a bit of fundraising.
We go on. We do, obviously we have a end of season party, so that falls in the summer. We also do a summer like getaway. Last year we went to Flamingo Land, so we put on a coach trip, and it's just like, we call them MA socials, and we just go on a trip and we just take them all, and we just have the family, and that's all the family come along, we all have a laugh, and it's just nice. It's not only team bonding, but the mums get to know each other, so then when they go into comps and they're sharing lifts and stuff, it just helps us feel more like a family. And that's what I said from day one for me for cheer. It's this is a community-based club, we're a family, this is what it is for me. So it's just nice to have that. That's what summer's for, when the weather is on our side.
Helps. When the weather
we don't really have a summer over here, do we?
We haven't this year.
No, you're telling me. Nightmare.
So we're going to go into what we call our
Controversial corner, Jane.
We are there with controversial corner. And the controversial corner, did you see that?
Itch, scratch.
Where are we going with controversial corner?
Is it Austin Powers?
I could be the mini person. Although we don't really look alike. So controversial corner is one of the topics that came up from one of our guests who emailed in is poaching. Poaching.
What, eggs?
Yeah, I have 2 in the morning, please, with a bit of avocado and a bit of coriander on top.
Eggs Royale, darling.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? I just thought it was just poached eggs.
I like my breakfast like I like
poached
my
eggs
men.
for me.
Royal.
Royal champ.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about, like, a lot of this can go on.
Yeah, it can.
We know that poaching goes on within the industry, and it's just something that happens, and it's not always great. But a lot of the times there's opportunities when people go to open gyms.
Yeah.
And there's gyms. There are gyms out there that do open gyms, and they're amazing. They just do an open gym, and it's like, oh, where you from? Or they just come in and they're joining in, and that's great because the kids can make friends from other cheer clubs and dance clubs, and they can get together. And when they go to competitions, they can be like, oh, I'll come and watch you. You come and watch me. But then there's what they call the dark side.
And Jane was actually in the second film of Star Wars.
Yes, there is the dark side to the cheer industry, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and there is poaching that goes on. And this is not just from, like, open gyms. Like, the social platform is a huge...
Yeah, it's... I don't know, who can be bothered? I'm sorry, but who can be bothered?
I'm the same. Like, literally, like, the socials, I don't even touch the socials anyway. Like, Ness does all the socials. She's amazing. But you get, you when you're trying to keep on top of everything, and our ethos has always been, if somebody approached us, then we've normally rang up another gym and said, look, we've had somebody from your gym who's contacted us. And, you
just kind of had that conversation.
I've generally had that conversation.
Yeah.
But, today that seems to be getting a little bit more difficult, I think, with what's going on in the gym hopping and everything else.
Yeah, I think it annoys me. There's a divide. There's no help anymore. Like, I certainly, when I first set up my team, I got another team in my region was very, very much like, you can't say that statement because it's incorrect and stuff. Like, no support from them, just absolute. I got utter, excuse my French, rubbish from them. I was going to swear them, but about PG, because might be some youngsters watching this one, and they was horrible towards. And it just, I thought I've always been brought up in a way where I turn negativity into fuel, and it just fueled me to just be the best my team and program can be, which were the highest followed team in our region now because of it. Because it's all about supporting people. If a girl who I used to cheer with called Sasha, she's setting up a team in Huddersfield, and she asked me the question, how do I do this? And I just went, if you want to call me, we can have a call. I'll tell you how to set up or what you need to do. And I just helped her, because at the end of the day, we've all got the same goal, and that is to help the athletes. Yeah. It's not about being the best of the best. Yes, we've got teams in the UK that are incredible, and they're absolutely taking the industry by storm, and we're not taking it away from them at all. But I just think if you've got somebody in your region that you might have 250 kids, and it might be nice that there's a little community club down the road that can take like prep teams and stuff like that. So then you can focus on having your summit bids and stuff like that, because that prep team might be a while away from doing stuff like that. Help them, support them. Don't be a side pony, Sally. Yeah. It's just, I mean, there's just I just don't understand it, the negativity around it. Support them.
Absolutely. And I think as well, like around that as well, when you said, like that support from club to club, there are enough people to go round.
Yeah, there is.
And you're not everybody's cup of tea, because I'm champagne. But anyway, I saw that on TikTok. I just had to put it in there. Yeah.
Well, if you're champagne, I'm definitely Carver. With a strawberry.
Well, I'm probably Prosecco, to be honest with you. Tesco's
Lambrini.
on.
That's
going
this
down.
was for the mums.
We're going down. That's where I am.
White lightning.
That's my level. My level. We've got to keep this PG. No, but I do think that I think it's really important to be mindful that there's enough, people to go around, and not everybody's going to suit like your ethos, your gym standards, and somebody else, you'll fit somewhere else. And if that fit is better somewhere else, then that's great. That's absolutely fine. But don't be going, trying to get other athletes, because there was one little cheeky story I will share with you. We was at a competition, and my niece was actually in my higher level team, and I won't name the club, but one of the clubs came up to my niece and was like, "Oh, we spotted you and we thought you was great, have you ever thought about trying out for, such thing?" And she was like, "Well, no, not really." And they was like, "Oh, your club doesn't do higher level and this, that." And she was like, "I know, but she's my auntie." And they was like, "Oh, okay."
I have two of my cousins in my program. I said, if you ever dare go anywhere else, but I wouldn't stop them because they're very talented, kids. So.
That's the reason, it happens when because it does come back to you. But I just think, like say, there's enough to go around, and if we can all try and promote a bit more kindness in the world, it's just the joy.
It is a dog-eat-dog world, innit? But I just think sometimes it's just nice to communicate with another programme, say, well done on this, or I've seen you at this event, well done, we'll come and support you. But
watching the progression of other clubs as well, because, we've always been inspired by ADA. We always wanted to get better, and we watched them, and that was our inspiration. It was an inspiration. Yeah. It wasn't a copy. No. It wasn't, we want to be you. But we got inspired by them because we wanted to do better. Yeah. So, and plus, they're miles away, so we couldn't do anything anyway. But I think that's really important, is to be inspired by others. For sure. I think that's a really positive note. I think inspirational. Jane, inspirational. And your inspired quote for today will be... Poach your eggs. Not the athletes. Yeah. That's my... I much prefer boiled anyway. So. Do you? Yeah. Oh no. Egg and soldiers. And my advice this week would be, poached egg with avocado and a bit of coriander. There you go. You can't end on that one. Poached egg. Come on, you're good with positive. Oh, so my inspiration this week would be, I would say it's about being mindful about your actions. Okay. Your actions do have a consequence and a domino effect. And if your gym, is not that gym for you, or you have been approached and poached by another thing, it's about your etiquette around that. I know there's means and ways now. We've got Sport Cheer England, and you could go down that route, but I think it's really mindful to just sort of maybe send a polite email to say it's come about that there's that. So I think not always greener on the other side. It isn't, and use your moral compass. And that is time, Jay. You can follow us on our social platforms at Cheer Up UK on YouTube, Instagram. We're going to get on TikTok as well. And thank you for watching episode 2. Sorry, my piece of paper's trying to escape my leg because I'm that sweaty. But yeah. And don't forget, for Controversial Corner, make sure you're emailing your controversial questions or topics to us at Jane and Theo at the Cheer Up at gmail.com. I'll put my teeth in for that one. Bye, everybody. Bye.